In a world where zombies, ghosts, serial killers, and vampires all exist, it's Nico, Brian, Mike, and Dustin, and they are all that stand between you and the films that could end the world. Welcome to the Don't Go Out There Horror Movie Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Don't Go Out There Horror Movie Podcast. Just want to thank all of our fans and listeners. Really appreciate the support. You guys are awesome. Before we get into tonight's film review, just want to give a quick shout out to our website, don'tgoouthere.com. Everything about our podcast is on the website. All of our episodes and interviews, if you want to check those out. We've done some incredible interviews in the past. Go check them out there in a specific tab by themselves so you don't have to scroll through hundreds of episodes on Apple or Spotify, etc. We also have our store if you want to grab a shirt, a mouse pad, a hat, all that good stuff. We'd love to see your pictures, rep your favorite podcast. And Shan's Etsy page is also attached if you want to grab a tumbler. All of our social media links are on there as well. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Like us, subscribe us, follow us, all that good stuff. And the last thing I want to shout out on our website is our Patreon. We call it Blood Donors. We have the traditional monthly reoccurring kind. If you want to support us, help us pay the bills, as we say. Or if there's a movie you want us to review, that option is available as well. Just check out our website, don'tgoouthere.com. Also, if you haven't noticed, we've recently joined the Believe Network. So there's some ads on our program now. But if you want ad-free content, go check us out on Blood Donors. The ad-free episodes will be available there. We appreciate your support. We hope you enjoy the episode. I haven't seen Shrek. All right, guys, jumping to the film review. This week is my choice. I chose Ma from 2019, the Octavia Spencer-led horror film. This is a movie I've had on my list for a while. It's one I've considered picking the past couple of years during the month of May, for Mother's Day and all that. This is a movie that I wrote my Letterboxd review earlier today, finally rated it on there. This is just a movie I consider like one of my guilty pleasure flicks. Like, I just have fun watching it. And while it does, explore some dark themes and stuff like trauma and, sexual abuse, stuff like that, it still keeps like somewhat of a light tone throughout, and it's more fun. And I think it's just Octavia Spencer's performance. I think she does a really good job, and I'm excited to review this with you guys. And I'm not saying this movie is a masterpiece by any means, but I have a good time watching it. I enjoy it. Mike, what did you think?
Yeah, so the first time I watched this, I was kind of mixed on it. The only other time I've seen the film, I was like, oh, that was okay. I mean, obviously Spencer gives a standout performance. She's great. We've talked about her a ton, or at least a little bit on this show. She's an awesome actor. So she absolutely kills the role of Sue-Ann and Ma. But this time around, I had a good time with it. It's a good little horror film, man. Like, it's well made. I think the majority of the cast is actually really good as far as their what they were given. I thought they delivered on. Yeah, I think it's a tight script. It does run a little long, and I'm not saying that in the Mike hates long movies. No, it actually does run a little bit longer than it probably should. But I think the story is relatable. You have a bullied high school kid that's kind of seeking revenge. If I remember correctly, this movie's marketing probably hurt it a little bit. If I remember correctly, it was kind of looked like Octavia Spencer was like a slasher villain almost, but it's a revenge tale, which is a story as old as time. That's a Beauty and the Beast reference. You'll see why that makes sense later. But all in all, I actually really liked it this time around. I thought it was much stronger. Now, you mentioned it touches on some very dark themes. I felt it more this time around in the sense that the performance really showed like, man, Sue-Ann is really, really messed up. And you start to, as the movie goes on, she starts to completely unravel. So all in all, thought it was really good. Glad. And I'll be doing scene by scene. So Lord, bear me strength.
Yeah, this is one of those movies that I've seen before, but I like it. But it also falls in that category of like, I think I'm good on watching it for another 2 to 3 years. It's just, I don't know. It's hard to explain how you can like a movie but not enjoy watching it. Like, it's not a movie that I just like want to watch a lot. Octavia Spencer is fantastic though. One of the more unsettling villains that we've ever seen in a movie that's plausible, right? Like there's nothing supernatural in this movie. It really reminds me, like I'd put it up there with Robin Williams in 1 Hour Photo, like just that creepy, unsettling character. But this is not my favorite Octavia Spencer movie. I mean, that of course would be Blue Streak. Shout out to that. But I think that a lot of the acting is good. A lot of the scenarios are just very twisted, and it's like you said it very well, Nico. It's a dark premise, but it still has a lightness about it, and I think that's aided obviously by the party scenes, and there is a lot of fun to be like if you were these high schoolers, this would be a lot of fun until it's not. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's a movie that I enjoy, but I don't love. I definitely have some issues with it, but it's solid.
Dude, I got one of I think my favorite Octavia Spencer performance besides this one is probably Fruitvale Station. Like, she was really good in that. Like, I didn't even know she was in it until I watched it, you know, when you had me watch the movie. Mm-hmm. But man, she was exceptional. She portrayed the emotions. Whew.
She's really good in that. She's really good in Coach Carter. You know, she's the mom of Coach Carter.
Mm-hmm.
But she's also really good in Big Mama's House. So
shout out to Cole's Battle.
I know it's
Range.
Yeah, stereotypical answer, but she's great in The Help, man. There's just no way around it.
She's also God. She was in The Shack.
Okay.
So there's that. You two are unfamiliar.
I don't
Shack's
know.
based off a book about grief, and a guy who lost his family goes to this shack and is greeted by God, and Octavia Spencer plays God.
Okay.
It's an incarnation of God. Yeah.
Never heard of it.
She's only appeared on this show
I read the
one
book.
other
I haven't
time,
seen the
right?
movie. Halloween 2?
Yeah, Halloween 2, right? I think so. Dang.
Yeah.
By the way, this cast is underrated. I just wanted to point that out. I mean, Luke Evans, Julia Lewis, Allison fucking Janney, Missy Pyle. Like, what a good little adult cast, man. I thought it was fun. Sorry, I just had to point that out.
No, you're good. And I'll point out something else while we're on Octavia Spencer. There's a movie that I guarantee none of you and none of our listeners have probably seen. It's from Neon. It's called Loose. That was a good movie. Naomi Watts is in it. Kelvin Harrison Jr. It's a good movie. But did the girl that plays, let's see, what was her name? The friend, Haley.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I cannot unsee it. She looks exactly like that girl that does that woman that does that weird dance at her booth when the pancakes arrive. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the influencer.
Yeah. Who's now an OnlyFans chick.
I said she's a content creator.
Her mouth
now.
shape.
How do you know that?
She popped up on my Twitter like literally a week ago, and then we watched this movie, and I was like, oh my God, her mouth shape is the exact same, like that lack of upper lip, I guess you'll call it. Holy cow.
Do the pancake thing, like when the pancakes show up?
I'd rather die.
I'm doing it right now.
You put me in a restaurant with her dancing her pancakes and that grooving gorilla guy. I will air that bitch out.
Yeah. And right before you do, I'm going to say, I haven't seen Shrek. This is how you really tweak.
No, don't do that. I'll kill myself first. That'll be enough to send me off the edge. Just take myself out.
You know, I won't do that.
That's not how business is done, Nico.
All right, Mike, whenever you're ready, take over, brother.
All right, I'm going to do my best. Here I go. Here's Ma from 2019. We open with a very mid-2010s boom clap Lumineer-style song through the winding wilderness and a shot that Brian definitely loved. It's a mom and daughter moving into a new town as we see a U-Haul pull up. It's Erica and her daughter Maggie. Erica asks if Maggie is nervous, which Maggie says yes because it's going to be a big school. Erica says not to be nervous because they are modern women in a modern world, which I know Dustin loved to hear that. Maggie is at school now, and she's lost like anyone knew would be. We see her find and help a student in a wheelchair after it lost its battery overnight, which ends up being Jeannie. And we cut to Erica having a new job at a casino as a waitress. She rightfully says it's better than having a desk job, which I agree. Erica is stereotypically sitting by herself at lunch, Maggie is stereotypically sitting by herself at lunch when she opens a sandwich that says, love your butt, which I'm going to steal that sometime when I leave food for Catherine. A group of kids come up behind her. And we meet Haley, who also compliments her butt and also points out that it's weird to start on a Friday in February, which I agree. Haley invited her to a party, but Maggie declines because she's going to a music festival with her mom. Haley talks shit about that and walks off as a dorky-ass kid waves by at Maggie. Maggie is home now, but Erica had to cover for someone at work, so she can't go to the music festival. She's stuck all alone eating pizza by herself, even though her mom did tell her that she made pancakes. Maggie decides to text her new shitty friends to come pick her up. Turns out the party is canceled, so the new friend group are going to drive around and get drunk, just like we all did, buddy. We see Daryl trying to get old people to buy them booze, but it's just not working. So, little tip here, guys. It pays to have older siblings, and their friends can buy you whatever you want. Just a little tip there, guys. So, they send Maggie to try to do it, and she's unsuccessful until we see someone roll up who ends up being Sue Ann with her dog. They ask her to do it, and she tries to play it cool and not buy them booze, but she changes her mind and just can't resist. Sue heads inside and buys them a shit ton of alcohol. This is definitely a felony. She buys them Aftershock instead of Fireball and tells them that this never happened. They're about to drive away, and then we get a jump scare with Sue Ann, giving them their change back because, quote, she's not a thug. The group is off to the rock piles, and it looks identical to any teen drinking spot in the history of ever, minus the orange groves for myself. We cut to Sue Ann looking up Andy on Facebook, and then we see Maggie and Andy having a moment about how much the town sucks, but actually not really because we're here. Sue tracks down the number of Andy's dad, Ben. She calls him and totally fucking sells the kids out that she just bought all the alcohol for. Then we get Allison fucking Janney walking in and scold Sue for her being on the phone at work and not having the dog breath. We're back at the rock piles, and they're having a good time until, whoop, whoop, the fuzz rolls up. However, just like my hometown, it pays to know the police because the kids get off scot-free. Maggie returns home, has a little argument with her mom. Erica wants her to make better decisions, and Maggie claps back at that ass by calling out her own life choices. That's the first set of scene. Nico, what do you think?
Yeah, starting off with a fun fact. This movie was originally written for a white mom or a white actress, but Tate Taylor, the director, doctored it for Octavia Spencer, who were very good friends. When offered the role, she asked if she died within the first 15 minutes, like she did in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, but was thrilled hearing that she'd not only be the killer, but she doesn't die. And shout out to Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, a movie that I rated higher than Dustin. So I like Rob Zombie more than he does. So,
wow.
Boom. Another fun fact, Diana Silvers lied about her height to get this role. She said she was only 5'8", but is actually 5'10 and a half. And to quote Dustin, she needs to go get a rebound.
Hey, relax on her. I told you my feelings on her. She's a cutie.
I'm telling you, I would have D1 athletes if y'all had some children's. We see Dominic Burgess as Stu, the co-worker of Erica. And we've seen him previously in the series show as John Wayne Gacy when we covered the show Dahmer, which I wish we would have got a John Wayne Gacy series, but anywho. Fun to see Juliette Lewis again, always a fun actress to cover. Kind of excited to meet her at a convention later in the year. Pancakes are a nice reward for missing the music festival. Why does Maggie have a pizza now? She say, fuck them pancakes, I want pizza. I want pancakes. And they better not be no cold pizza, because hot take, I think cold pizza is disgusting. Wish we would have shown Maggie getting Haley's number or one of these kids, whoever she texts. The only exchange we saw was her inviting Maggie, but no info was exchanged, but that's just a minor nitpick. Like, show more kid stuff before they get into this stuff. This film was shot in Natchez, Mississippi, and it gives me vibes of the small town I grew up in, so that's believable. The way these kids are trying to recruit adults to buy them alcohol is hilarious. They don't have any subtlety at all. They're just outside of the damn liquor store. Hey, can you buy this shit for me? And like, come on, like, what are we doing? Crazy to think this is Octavia Spencer's first leading role. She's a great actress, and although I don't think it's needed, I am excited for a Ma sequel just to see her again in this as this character. I think she's fun. I've never heard of this Aftershock stuff, but Fireball has been a go-to for shots when I do occasionally drink. Dustin, have you ever had Aftershock? I've never heard of Aftershock.
I've never heard of Aftershock, but there is one called Cinerator. And so Fireball is 66 proof. Cinerator is 91.1 proof, 911. And brother, let me tell you, that'll get you right every time.
Also, like it, but
have ever got you do the fire and ice shot?
I don't think so.
Oh man, next time I come down to Tallahassee, fire and ice, it's half Fireball, half Rumple Mints.
I think I might pass on that.
Nope, not an option.
All right, fuck it, we bowl. Ben telling Mercedes we're good while getting head. Good night. That's tough. I'll just leave it at that. That is, you got to tighten up, Mercedes. I don't know what we got going on down there.
Or maybe she was too tightened up, too much teeth.
Maybe,
Anyway.
yeah. Sue Ann catching pure hell for taking a phone call. Damn, the vet runs a tight ship around here. Good night. And nothing will ruin an underage drink session quite like them blue lights pulling up. And the last thing I got, Dustin, Maggie snapping on her mama. These damn kids don't any respect. My word, I was shocked how disrespectful she was to mama. She took her whole damn day out on her.
First of all, Nico, before I get started in my SEMA scene, if you truly like Rob Zombie more than me, I'll pick 31 for my next pick so you can enjoy some. I'll do that for you.
I was kidding.
No, I'll do that for you.
I was kidding.
Very similar scene, or very familiar scene to start. Single parent and kid move to a new town. Kid is nervous about starting a new school. Like, we've seen that a million times. Clown on the Cornfield, another one that just pops into my mind. Erica's coworker Stu, he is one sassy bitch. Like, yes, working here is everything I dreamed of and more. Please leave me alone. He got on my nerves there. And I don't think that was necessary because the rest of the time we see him, seems like him and Erica are friends and he's normal. So that was weird. I like that the kids weren't stereotypically mean to the new girl. Again, like Clown in the Cornfield. But the scene where Haley gets Maggie's number felt very rushed and unlikely. Like, it was just, hey, I just met you. This is crazy. Give me your number. I'll call you maybe. Like, that was weird. Then the mom has to work, so Maggie just takes a ride on the Bang Bus. That's wild. What kind of kid in high school is driving around a serial killer van? I don't know. I know it's his dad's business, but it's still weird. When we meet Ma, Sue Ann, she's so creepy when she sees Andy get out of the van. Just the change in her demeanor was unsettling. And her giving the kids a jump scare when she gave the change back, that was good. And we see very quickly that she's a loser. Facebook stalking and calling Andy's dad while abandoning her work. Just terrible employee. Very unnecessary to have Andy's dad getting topped off when he gets the call. Like, what was the point of that? It didn't come back into play. It didn't, like, there's no, I get it. He's with Mercedes now and they put an emphasis on that. His wife died, but they could have just been riding down the road. I don't know. That was weird. We get the typical teenage daughter and mom argument to close out the opening. And it's a decent enough start, though.
Damn mute button. Anyway, we're back at Sue Ann's place of employment, and we see Erica dropping off their dog, Louie. Erica says she's running late for work and asks if she can fill out the paperwork later, which I guess they allowed it here, but I'm not so sure that would be allowed anywhere else to just drop off your dog without filling out the proper paperwork. She stares out the window at Erica and gets yelled at again by Alice and Janney to answer the damn phone. So, like you mentioned, Dustin, terrible employee so far is Sue Ann. Sue tries to say she's fighting off her migraine, but she doesn't care and tells her to take some horse tranquilizers and do her fucking job. Back at the house, Maggie is all dolled up to meet up with Haley, but Mom calls her bluff about going to meet a boy. The teens are back to drinking and driving around and having Ma buy their booze again. She wants them to follow her this time to get her payment so she doesn't get caught, but in reality, she's leading them to her house. She offers to let them party in her basement as a safe place to drink that would make her feel better. And after some deliberation, they decide to go inside. Ma starts to lay out the house rules and then takes Andy's keys so she can make sure they're safe to drive when they leave. They all kind of finally introduce themselves and get on a first-name basis with Ma. Daryl makes himself right at home and asks for some pizza rolls. My man, Daryl. Ma says, boy, you are too much, and heads upstairs to get the group some snacks. She comes back downstairs with some pizza rolls, and Chaz is making some suggestions on how to make this place a little bit cooler. And that it's, sorry, this is just my mess up here. He tells Sue that if she doesn't want to be cool, that's on her. Sue says, you want to see cool? And then she pulled out her gun like an R. Kelly music video and makes him strip naked. Ha ha. It's all a big joke to make a minor strip naked. She says the gun doesn't even work and she found it when she moved in and says she was under arrest for being too dang cute. Nasty. She makes Andy... So anyway, they party for a while, and then she makes Andy follow her finger before handing over his keys. Maggie asks if she's married, but Ma says he left years ago, but her finger is too fat to take it off. Maggie says it was nice to meet her. Ma sends him off by saying, you know where the party is. Maggie comes home and then heads to bed. We cut to Sue looking up Maggie on Facebook like a loser and finding Erica and where she works. We cut to the casino and she's run into Ben and Mercedes, which we find out they're all old friends. Erica had to move back home, and Mercedes tries to embarrass her for working there and having a failed marriage and not making it in California and moving back. Ben has to carry her drunk ass out of there and says, "It's nice to see you, Erica." Erica introduces Stu to Maggie as she leaves town for training. No parties at their house, and Erica is trusting her. The friend group tries to convince her to have a party, but they run into a box outside of the van. It's for Ma, and it's a big old free box of liquor. They read the note and get a FaceTime video from Sue saying, "Why wait for the weekend? It's 5 o'clock somewhere." Shout out to Alan Jackson, the GOAT. The group is excited as they head to Ma's for a party. This party is much bigger this time as we get a really fun house party montage set to Funky Town. I thought it was a really cool scene. But this time, Ma is dressed in her best and is part of this party. She's having a blast for maybe the first time in a long time. But then we see her on top of the stairs with a sad look come over her face. That's the second set of scene. Nico, what'd you think?
Yeah, I love when people give their pets normal human names like Louie. I think that's fun. I like that. Sue Ann continues to not do her job. This vet about to have a field day on her ass. I know these kids want to party, but red flags need to start going up immediately. This random lady is bringing me to her house and offers her basement to party. I'm skeptical right off rip. Pizza rolls while drinking? Hell yeah, brother. I'm right there with you, Mike. I think most everyone would agree here that this gun scene is insane. Why in the world would they accept this as a joke from Ma, and why would they ever agree to come back? Dead Meat pointed that out in the kill count, and I agree 100%. This just went way too far. I will say it's a tense scene, but a huge deal breaker being called cute isn't enough for that kind of trauma this kid's going to have to deal with. My dog Daryl can't get pizza off of his mind, asking about a sausage pizza now. Good night. I like how the film fleshes out Ma's traumatic past with flashbacks from her childhood. See, I don't know where this non-linear storytelling, and I hate it, come about. That's just fake news around here. I laughed at Mercedes. "You're not working here, are you?" While she's literally carrying the drinks in the uniform. What? Is she an idiot? And I know Ben is tired of Mercedes' ass. Told her to stop performing fellatio and having to drag her outside of the casino. She must be good in other areas. I'll just leave it at that. Ma's laugh, "It's 5 o'clock somewhere," after she said that, had me crying laughing. Shout out to Octavia Spencer. She's so fun. It's inappropriate as hell, but the dancing scene in the basement is fun to watch. "Won't you take me to Funky Town?" That's a great song. It makes me think of the Jabberwockies. Did y'all watch America's Best Dance Crew? When it first came out? Shout out to the Jabberwockies when they won with that song. Last thing I got, another fun set of scenes as we begin to unlayer the onion of Ma's character. Hey, shout out to Onions. I've never seen Shrek.
All right, man. Erica meeting Sue Ann, that was a good seed planted. And you can see how much this new chapter is consuming Sue Ann already. She just stares at Erica instead of answering the phone. The kids going into Sue Ann's house is just such a lapse in judgment by them. At the very least, it's creepy. What kind of stranger welcomes kids in without nefarious intentions? I hate the part when Chaz gets in her face and asks if she doesn't want to be cool. It was a pretty cringe bit, but beyond that, this woman is a vet tech. What kind of money does he think she makes? I'm honestly surprised at how big her house is, considering what she does for work. Then, when she pulls the gun on him and makes him strip, that should have been enough for all of them to leave and never come back. Psychotic. Hey, Chaz, you a victim. The flashback to young Sue Ann shows glimpses of why she's the way she is, but it doesn't excuse it at all. Erica's interaction with Mercedes was brutal, and it's even more uncomfortable because Sue Ann was there lurking. And also, shout out to Missy Powell. That's Fran Stelanoskevich Davidovitsky from Dodgeball. We see the iconic scene where she leaves the booze for the kids and listens to their reaction. That is a legendary GIF. And then her evolution at the party. She decorated the place, changed her wardrobe. How is this not a red flag to these kids? I don't know. But her doing the robot to Funky Town, that was hilarious. These kids have ever heard that song or think those dance moves are cool. I legit laughed. The creepy factor kicked up a lot in this set of scenes.
All right, we get a cool transition shot back into the past of Sue at a fire at the party that she was invited to in high school. Then we're back in the present, and Maggie and Ma kind of catch each other's eyes and actually have a little bit of a nice moment about her not wanting weed and talking about her parents' divorce. The group turns off the music and gets Ma to take a shot with them, even though she doesn't want to. We hear a knock upstairs, and Mom blames the ice machine, and she heads upstairs, and we see her grab a needle. Just then, there's a line at the bathroom downstairs, and so because of that, and it's because someone is fucking in that bathroom, Maggie and Haley head upstairs to find a potty, which breaks one of Ma's rules from the first set of scenes. After they pee, she catches them and pushes them against the wall and shoves them back downstairs. Maggie and Haley want to leave now and say they don't want to talk about it. We're at the next day, and Ma's cutting out pics of herself and blowing up the teens' phone. We're at the school now, and they're complaining about how much Sue is texting them. Another girl asks if they think Ma would let them have a party there. And then we see Andy wave Maggie over, and he asks her out on a date, finally. She says yes and asks him why it took so long because she so obviously likes him, and some cringe dialogue. Daryl comes up behind them shouting lovebirds and saying how much he loves love. They head downstairs, and bam, they run into Sue Ann. She says she has a beer pong table and a keg of Bud Light ready for them. They all decline her invite this time, though, because it's a school night, and Haley tells her she needs to get a man, and Ma replies, you need to watch your mouth. She finds some new teens to buy for, and it turns out to be a bad idea because they take all the stuff and then turn around and throw stuff at her, calling her a loser, which rightfully so. Sue is in her car crying just like old times. Erica is back in town after training, and she apologizes to Maggie for being gone so much. She asks how school is going, and she tells her that Andy asked her out on a date, which Erica is excited about, what I think is a really nice, sweet mother-daughter moment. We cut to a party scene with kung fu fighting, which Dustin pointed out, why the hell is this the music at these parties for this age group? It makes no sense. But anyway, I thought it was a fun scene. Ma comes up to Maggie and tells her to be careful with Andy, and she doesn't want to mess up her life with a baby. Maggie then goes out of her way to kiss her in front of Sue Ann and then she says that was great. Ma starts passing out shots and then gives one to Maggie and tells her, come on, don't be a loser. We get another 80s song montage scene, and it's clear that Maggie's drink has been laced with something by Ma. She wakes up in her bed with a little bit of a hangover and a ton of scratches on her. She doesn't really remember anything from last night, and then Andy, like an asshole, kind of fucks with her about how sloppy she got, but she says she doesn't want either one of them hanging out at Ma's anymore. We see Ma put up the drugs in her cabinet that was clearly laced in that shot. We cut to Andy and Maggie making out as Erica pulls up after a long day at work. There's a boy in her house, she says, and these two do a terrible job of playing it cool and coy. Erica realizes that this is Ben's son and tells him they went to high school together. She apologizes for his mom passing, and then they talk shit about Mercedes. And Andy says he's more of a Porsche guy. Ma is blowing up Andy's phone at the table as Erica asks if he has a lot of girlfriends. Go ahead, Nico.
Yeah, I agree with you, Mike. I thought it was a cool transition with the glasses to the bonfire. I'm glad you pointed that out. Ma, she's hitting on high school boys now. Good night, Sue Ann. You need to relax over here. Maggie growing more and more skeptical of Ma, and I appreciate that someone is aware that this whole situation is fucked up. And I know Dustin lost his mind hearing these texts coming in back to back to back like those did. Like, first of all, who leaves their sound on? But I know that would have drove Dustin up a wall. Brave of Andy to even joke around about talking to another girl when asking Maggie out. Like, come on, man. Like, goodness. I laughed at Daryl, all those ships with our people in the bottom of the boat. Come on, man. But I guess you are the only person allowed to make that joke, but goodness. Haunting stare by Ma when she tells Haley to watch her mouth after being told she needs a man. Mean-ass kids throwing a drink at Ma's window. Poor Sue Ann, you can tell, has never gotten over her childhood trauma and bullying from high school. Another fun scene with kung fu fighting playing, but I like that Maggie is still aware of the situation. Ma didn't like that you sound like my mother line, and Sis is fuming seeing Maggie kissing Andy, sending her right into cockblock mode. Ma pressures Maggie into taking a shot, and immediately the room starts spinning. Like, after this, if I'm her, I'm never associating with her again. Andy, I thought, was kind of a dick, joking about Maggie flashing her tits. Like, read the room, man. Like, this is not the time to joke about that. Not sure why Andy needs an explanation on why they shouldn't hang out at Ma's. She's weird. Like, that's all you need. And then this man says ketchup on egg rolls. What the fuck? That just ticked me off so bad. That's worse than a steak, I think. Intense makeout session on the couch. Y'all know Mama Erica is on the way home. We're losing recipes. And why didn't Maggie give Mama Erica a heads up he was going to be there? Like, she has no self-awareness. wild to say dad's got a new fuck buddy to your girlfriend's mom on the first time meeting her. Like, all right.
Wow.
And the last thing I got, Dustin, Sue Ann continues to be a weirdo, way past due cutting this relationship off.
So I don't have this in my notes, but I got to say it. You told him to read the room about making the joke about flashing. That's 100% something I would do. I make jokes at the worst possible time. Comedy knows no bounds. Anyway,
You are funny as hell, though, brother. I'll give it to you.
I appreciate it.
Hey, I haven't seen Shrek.
I quit. Effective immediately. We get another flashback showing the backstory of Sue Ann. I mean, I do feel sorry for her. Never fitting in and longing for acceptance is rough, but again, it does not justify her actions. Maggie does a good job acting drunk when Sue Ann compliments her earrings, like Diana Silvers does a good job. That was actually really good acting. We've seen a lot of it. Being drunk is a hard thing to act like when you're not, so I thought she nailed it. Sue Ann telling the group that she doesn't drink, that's an even bigger red flag. Being around all these kids sober while they're getting trashed is somehow even more creepy. Also, I want to take this time to denounce Ashley's comments. How dare she imply that I was in the bathroom fornicating with a girl named Kinsey? I was not. Another red flag, Sue Ann throws you against the wall. You leave and you don't come back. Yeah, they broke her upstairs rule, but that was insane. And then her cutting pics of herself out and putting in the pics with the kid's parents. That's even more nuts. This woman is psychotic. When she texted Maggie, all I thought about was how that's how Mike texts 39 texts in a row that could have been condensed and sent as one message. Shout out to Mike. Showing up at school like that, restraining order, stat. Like this would be a very short movie if I was one of these kids. I like the mother-daughter dynamic between Maggie and Erica when she tells her mom she has a boyfriend. It was very believable, and she was so giddy. Again, just really good acting by Diane Silvers. The next party added to how weird Sue Ann is, and Maggie waking up the next day with no pants on, scrapes on her knees, and missing her earrings. Like, she is a different level villain. Her little boyfriend asking why when she says she doesn't want to go to Ma's anymore. Buddy, Sue Ann is a bad egg. Have you no awareness? I like Erica picking up the pillows when she got home. Like, that's very mom-like. She let her know, hey, I'm picking up these pillows. See them in the floor. I know what was going on here. She ain't dumb, but very bold of Andy to use that language. I mean, this is your first impression, man. It's a good set of scenes here.
I want to be clear.
Yeah, Dad's got a fuck buddy was wild for the first
That's
time meeting
insane.
your girlfriend's new mom.
And then called her a
that, then he
bitch.
said
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I want to be clear. I only text like that when I'm hopped up on pre-workout. It's a crazy thing. It's basically crack cocaine, buddy. And I double
Must be
scoop.
hopped up on pre-workout all the time.
Not well, honestly, yeah. It's the only way I make it through life, buddy. We don't have to talk about my depression. We cut to Maggie and Haley walking the halls. And Haley tells Maggie to block Ma, and then Haley sends out a video telling everyone to do the same thing. She says Ma is crazy, and we can hang out at her grandmother's instead. Then we see Ma get mad about this and blow up at the nail salon. And this old woman at the nail salon is fucking hilarious. One of the best parts of the film. And then we do see another mini flashback scene of her in the closet as a teenager. Ma gets a new number and blows everyone up about it. She tries to entice them to come party with her and ask if they're mad at her for something. Then Ma tells them she needs to meet them at the rock piles, that it's an emergency. She gets them all to come out and tells them that she has cancer. That's why she's been acting so weird, and that she could really use some friends right now. All the guys there kind of comfort her and tell her that she can beat it, and then she gives Andy a really uncomfortable hug. Jazz said his grandpa beat it, and he's a fucking pussy, which is a terrible thing to say. We cut to Maggie and Haley in the van because they don't believe Ma, and they're talking about the jewelry that's gone missing, so they follow Ma to her house. They let themselves in, and they see Ma shrine to Ben, and all the other weird shit that she has in her house. Ben brings his dog to Sue's work and acts like he's running into Sue again. He treats her with a little bit of kindness and says they should catch up sometime. Ma says that she would like that, and they agree to meet at the restaurant at 6 p.m. We cut back to Ma's house, and someone in a mask pops up and scares the shit out of Haley and Maggie. It's Jeannie. They did not know that she was up there. The girl, and this is the same girl that Maggie helped earlier with her wheelchair. She says she doesn't mind them being here, but that they didn't know. Sorry, I think I messed up there. So sorry about that. They're surprised to see her walking, and she says she's not supposed to walk, that she's sick. They haven't, and then they said they haven't seen her at school in a while, and it's because her mom says she's sick and she needs to stay home. They find out that Sue Ann is her mom. She says she hears them downstairs all the time and asks the two if it's fun. Maggie says that it can be and that she should join them sometime. We see Haley and Maggie try to leave as Ma is coming home now with her clothes. They narrowly escape and don't get caught. Then we see Sue all dolled up, and Jeannie tells her that she looks pretty. She asks if she can go back to school, but Sue's tell her that she's far too sick. The doctors just don't see it yet. She gives her a shot with a needle and then heads out for dinner. We finish with a flashback scene of a girl helping Sue Ann put on lipstick and giving her blowjob instructions. Go ahead, Nico.
Good night. Sue Ann crashing out at the nail salon has me crying, laughing. I'm right there with you, Mike. I thought that shit was hilarious. Not today, old lady. Not today. I was screaming, laughing. Then when she called Sue Ann a bitch, God, that was fun. That's entertainment. Sue Ann rewatching the mean message from Haley over and over. Sis took this personally. Like, damn. I love this. Don't make me drink alone. I think that part is so funny, and all the TikTok comments saying like, don't make me drink cologne instead. God, that's so funny to me. Ma is crashing out big time. This isn't how a functioning adult person should act. Like, goodness gracious, get it together, lady. Sue Ann gives a convincing performance lying about having cancer. But this is diabolical, though. Lying about something like that just to keep high school friends. And not high school friends you went to school with. Kids who are in high school who are your friends. Outrageous. The group notices Stephanie's bracelet on Ma's wrist. They know she's up to something. I love this crash out from Ma on this goat. Fucking animals. Oh, nah. If I'm these girls, I see all these pictures of my parents and Andy's picture. I'm freaked the fuck out. I'm never associating with her again. Jeannie scared the fuck out of Haley and Maggie with this mask. And, like, why are you wearing that shit anyways? You can tell that Jeannie is being punished by her mom as well as a form of protection from kids at school. Like, she needs to get her trauma resolved. Like, go see a therapist. Goodness. Last thing I got, Dustin, I feel so bad for Jeannie. Her mom is giving her drugs she doesn't need, depriving her from a real childhood, and lying to her about her health just to, quote-unquote, keep her safe from other kids.
Yeah. Sue Ann getting into it with the old woman at the nail salon was hilarious. That was the funniest part of the movie to me. All those videos sent at midnight, oh, no. An emergency? Good luck with that. Block the new number 2. Like, what are we doing? She gives the whole sob story at the rock pile. Hate to hear that. Bye. Like, sorry. It's not my problem. I don't hate the idea of Haley and Maggie going to look for their jewelry, but they should have had the guys run lookout. That's a rookie move. That's women for you. When they go upstairs, I like how it was shot to show Jeannie moving in the background. That was unsettling to see her because we didn't know who it was at first. Interesting dynamic between Ben and Sue Ann. The brief interaction in the vet clinic, that does a good job of letting us know there's a lot to unpack with their history. The tension when Sue Ann gets back home and Haley and Maggie are inside, that is through the roof. Like, that was a really good scene. Last thing, Sue Ann telling her daughter that the doctors don't see how sick she is. That's another indicator that she's insane. She's clearly lying to her own daughter to make her think she's weak.
A little Munchausen syndrome there, which I typically stutter when I try to say that. So I'm proud of myself. Gold star for me. All right, guys, I want to apologize because this is the most that I have. So, again, Lord, bear me strength, okay? All right. Ma's at the restaurant now as Gaston walks up to see her. He apologizes for being late, and he tells her that she looks lovely. They order some drinks, but Ma doesn't get one. She's content with letting him do his thing. They catch up about their husbands and wives, and they talk about reunions and how they don't do those anymore. And just as things look comfortable, Ben pulls out a black box. It's a tracking device and says that he has one on all of his vans, including his son's. Turns out this was a trap all along. He wants to know why his son has been spending so much time at her house. Ma asks if they can do this somewhere else, and she doesn't really know what to say. Ben accuses her of trying to get back at him for not wanting her in high school. He calls Sue a loser and says that people never change. Ma says, I guess that's true, or something like that. He threatens her and that if he catches Andy there again, he won't go to the police. He'll handle it himself. He throws money on the table and heads out. Then we see Ma on her phone at work again. God, terrible employee Sue Ann is. And she gets told to get back to shaving the dog. Maggie tries to warn Andy that Sue doesn't have cancer, and Sue is just in love with him like she was his dad. Andy has some weird soft spot for Ma and expresses how weird his mom acted at the end with her cancer. We see Maggie come home and hear Erica talking to someone. Turns out it's Sue Ann. She tells her she's just following up about Louie. Maggie and Sue Ann act as if they've never met before, and Erica tells her that they went to high school together with Ben and Mercedes. Sue asks Maggie where she goes to school and gives her a weird look. She leaves, gives Erica a hug, and gives Maggie another look, and then heads out. We see a flashback of Ma giving head to who she thought was Ben in the closet. It turns out it was a really cruel prank. She gave head to a total stranger, and everyone knows and everyone laughs at her in the hall. Back in the present day, we see Ma driving, and just as she's about to pass Mercedes running, she runs that bitch over and keeps on driving and calls her a fucking cunt. Hilariously so, might I add. Fucking hilarious. Back at Maggie's, and Louie is bleeding and breathing slowly. Erica suggests that they call Sue Ann, but Maggie says no, that she knows her and that she's been to her house. We cut to Ma's house and Ben banging on the door. She accuses her of having Andy in there. She hits Ben with a taser to knock him the fuck out, and then we're back at Maggie, and Erica is ripping her a new asshole for hanging out at Sue Ann's. She says that she's grounded until summer break and slams the door on her. Back at Sue Ann's, and she has Gaston all tied up like Misery. She's fucking with him by running the knife up and down his sternum, and she grabs his cock, which that was a very graphic cock scene that we didn't need to see, and says, "This is what you were going to show me in high school?" But she decides not to cut it off. She says that he humiliated her in high school and that pain never goes away. She says she's going to treat him like a dog because that's what he is, as she hooks up dog's blood IV to him. Erica rolls up on Sue Ann at the liquor store and tells her to back the fuck off, but Sue isn't having it. She says she knows her type and how does it feel to be on the outside looking in. She says the view from the center is amazing. She says she thought there was a connection there, but she just threw it all away and mumbles that she even took care of Mercedes for her. We see Maggie get a video from a party at Ma's, even though she thought all of her friends were done hanging out there. She's shit talking about having Andy there and that she's missing out. Maggie breaks Erica's rules and grabs the keys to head to the party. She shows up and is mad at Andy for being there. Haley is there too, and she says Maggie is beautiful and actually lays a kiss on her. She says that you should drink the punch that Ma made because it is so good. Back upstairs, and Ma is giving Jeannie more medicine. She leaves and says, "Mommy loves you." Back to the party, and Ma locks the outside door and has them all locked inside the basement. Next set of scenes is the last one. Go ahead, Nico.
Yeah, according to these non-linear flashbacks that I don't hate, Mercedes has been a super bitch her whole life. Sometimes you want something so badly, then you just don't. Did Ma kill her husband? Like, what just happened? Is she wearing a ring? Like, was she ever really married? Like, this is a small town. Like, I don't know. These are the questions I need answered in Ma too. And you know, for a sequel, they better call it Mama, right? Like Mama. No, Mama's already a movie that exists. God damn it. Never mind. Scratch that.
Too furious.
Yeah, too much. That's funny. And it just got tense. Good question, Ben. Why is your kid hanging out at Ma's house? And I think it's justified he questions her intentions, but calling her a loser and not trying to resolve high school drama, well, it's more than drama, but like, just apologize. Like, you know what you did to her was wrong. Like, come on, man. Don't think Andy should be playing around with Maggie so much in discussion about Ma. Like, you can tell Maggie's very serious in her concerns about this. Great acting by Sue Ann, acting like she's never met Maggie before at her own damn house. I'd like to know Dustin's thoughts on that with women acting like this when he goes personally. And more great facial acting when Sue Ann hugs Erica and gives Maggie that blank face. I thought that was great from Octavia. Now we see the results of Sue Ann's trauma. She's very serious. She got tricked into performing sexual acts on a random guy and humiliated in front of her whole class. It's disgusting behavior by these kids, and I don't blame Sue Ann for being traumatized from this. Ma, with no hesitation, running Mercedes over and instantly turns on some Earth, Wind, and Fire. Hell yeah, that's a great song, great scene. Damn, Sue Ann killed the vet too, all because she wanted you to do your job. She ain't fucking around right now. Shit got real spooky for Ben. Horse tranquilizer to the neck. Mentioned it in Bugonian last week, but that helpless feeling of passing out after being drugged, that's got to be super terrifying. I couldn't imagine something scarier, honestly. Valid crash out by Erica as well and her lion-ass daughter. And holy shit, Sue Ann is pumping Louis's blood into Ben, and now he's about to cut his dick off. This is worse than a nightmare. Like, god damn. This is one of the more sadistic deaths we've ever covered, honestly, and Sue Ann's slip into madness has been top-notch. Great exchange between Sue Ann and Erica. I did chuckle her calling Erica an ungrateful bitch and saying, I took care of Mercedes for you. Andy ain't shit. Why are you there, dude? Like, listen to your girlfriend. Ma with a diabolical look as she goes upstairs. You know those kids done drank some of that spiked punch and it's about to get bad for them. I'm ready for an action-packed ending. Go ahead, Dustin.
First of all, what would you want? What were you wanting to hear my thoughts on?
Oh, how fake that Ma was acting, being in Erica and Maggie's house like she's never met her before.
Oh yeah, I mean that. Every day is an audition for them. They're great actors, them women. But anyway, another flashback showing Sue Ann's history and now Mercedes is involved. Like, this is a tangled web. Ben executed his plan flawlessly. Play on Sue Ann's emotions to lure her to the restaurant and then blindside her with what you want to know. Ask about Andy. Complete mood change, and it was awesome. Hell yeah. The balls on Sue Ann to leave that encounter with Ben and go to Maggie's house. She is nuts. Maggie should have told her mom right then. Like, play nice, play dumb in front of your mom, but as soon as she leaves, tell her. Yeah, like, I get it. You don't want to get in trouble for underage drinking and sneaking off, but it's better than the alternative. Seeing the climax, no pun intended, of the Sue Ann and Ben high school drama again explains why Sue Ann is messed up, but it does not excuse it. And then she mowed down Mercedes. It's hard to even care, though, because Mercedes was a shit person. Like, that's a strange thing. I don't think we needed Mercedes to be a bad adult, just like we didn't need Ben. He wasn't a bad adult. Like, he was just protective over his son. But like, the only motivation we needed for her to want to kill Mercedes was what happened in high school. But she sucked when we saw the adult Mercedes. So I didn't really care about that. When Maggie found her dog bleeding and called out to the person in the shadows, listen, girl, it might have been beneficial to shine the flashlight towards the person instead of the ground. Women. I mean, good God. And Sue Ann has clearly hit her tipping point. First Mercedes, then the dog. Then we see the vet dead in a kennel. She has lost it. The vet seemed like a good person, too. I know she yelled at Sue Ann a lot, but she should have fired her. So she was better than she should have been. Sue Ann was a terrible employee. Glad Maggie finally told her mom she knows Sue Ann. Better late than never, I guess. Very disappointed in Ben. Got caught lacking. Hate to see it. I mean, my God, man. Could have gone without seeing a dick. Would have been just fine implying that she grabbed it instead of showing us. Just my thoughts. Her infusing the dog blood in him was nuts, but what's the point? If she's just going to cut his wrist and let him bleed out, like, why do that? Why show us that? It did not matter. I think that the more effective thing to do is have her do it, have her subdue him again, like tranquilize him, and then he dies because he's got incompatible blood in his system. Like, I think that's more efficient and psychotic, but just to do it and then it never mattered. I don't know. Sue Ann admitting to killing Mercedes is one of the most puzzling things in the movie. I mean, people have to know that she's dead by now. Are there no cops in this town? Arrest her on the spot. I took care of Mercedes for you. Like, everyone who heard that should have been like, wait, Mercedes, that's the name of that woman that died. Let's call the cops. Maggie should have showed the video of Sue Ann in her earrings to her mom. That, plus the fact that she's partying with kids again, is enough to put her in jail. Instead, she goes at it alone. Dummy. Pretty dummy, but dummy. I'm ready for the ending.
All right. Speaking of the ending.
Oh, and also,
here we go.
Also the actress that plays her is of age. So that's not weird that I'm saying that. I'm talking about now she's pretty, not in the movie.
Here is the ending. Here we go, guys. Back in the basement, Maggie is the only one conscious when the rest are kind of locked in and passed out. Maggie heads upstairs to find Jeannie, and she opens the wrong door and instead finds Ben bleeding on the bed. Ma comes up from behind her with a needle to knock her out. We cut to Erica waking up, and somehow she doesn't know that Maggie is gone. She's yelling at her with no response for way too long, and she finally gets a fucking clue and realizes that her daughter is gone. We cut to a horrific monologue scene with Maggie tied up. She said that Ma says she gave her enough drugs to knock out a Great Dane for 5 hours. She's going over everything by ruining Chaz's stomach with an iron. She's sewing Haley's lips shut, and she's painting Daryl's face white because there's only room for, quote, one of us. It's later in the day, and Andy wakes up, and he asks if she's mad at them. She dances with Andy instead and says they're the cutest couple at the party. Andy tries to, I think anyway, trick Ma and says he loves her, and then starts to make out with Ma in a really uncomfortable scene. But then he's stabbed and called a liar for his troubles. There's a cop upstairs, and he wants to know what all the cars and empty cups and drinks are in her yard. She uses Jeannie as a shield to kind of send the cop away, but then he hears Maggie yelling downstairs, so unfortunately, Sue has to shoot the cop. Then she blames Jeannie and starts to yell at her and heads back downstairs. Then she gets Maggie to take some new yearbook pictures of her and the group and her new friend group. And then Jeannie comes up from behind and knocks the fuck out of Ma. Jeannie is hesitant to head back downstairs, but Maggie is screaming, and now there's a fire. The house is on fire. We don't need no water. Let that up. Anyway, Ma and Jeannie kind of battle a little bit, and Erica shows up to save her daughter. Then Erica yells that she's sorry for what happened to Sue Ann, that she should have stopped it, but she didn't. She says she's sorry. Sue Ann says, but you didn't. She takes Jeannie away, and Erica is pleading with her. Maggie sees the knife and decides to stab Ma and says, I'm not my mother. And then she rescues Jeannie. Ma heads upstairs. She's yelling for Jeannie to come back, but realize that's a lost cause. The rest of the group goes to comfort each other outside, and Ma heads upstairs to accept her fate. She heads to the bedroom that Gaston is in, kisses him on the cheek, lays on his chest as the fire engulfs them in the house. That's the end, Nico. What'd you think?
Yeah, shit's hitting the fan as all the kids, besides Maggie, begin to pass out, and then Maggie realizes the cellar doors have been locked. This is not good, Bob. Horrifying sight for Maggie finding Ben in a pool of his blood on Sue Ann's bed until she gets Randy Orton out of nowhere with a syringe to the neck by Ma. Ma begins to let her wrath loose on these kids, too. Chaz with a hot iron to his stomach. Ashley takes the iron to the back of her head. Haley has her lips sewn shut. Daryl getting his face painted white. Damn. Ma is crazy. Dustin, any thoughts on Andy saying, I love you to Ma? Like, was that kind of early, or was that in a life, or did you give him a pass because it was a life and death situation?
Hell yeah, give him a pass. I mean, I've said I love you in less stressful situations. And I didn't mean it either, so I get it.
And I didn't mean it. Those words didn't mean shit because bro caught a kitchen knife right to the gut quick. Fun fact, this cop is played by director Tate Taylor. I'm sure we all knew that, but figured I might as well say it. Ma, with no hesitation, double taps the cop. God damn, and elite gaslighting, saying Jeannie made her do it. That was impressive gaslighting. Jeannie pulls a Randy Orton now cast iron pan out of nowhere to Sue Ann's face, knocking her down all them damn steps. Maggie, a lot of shit happens here, but Maggie with a stab to the back of Sue Ann. I'm happy that Jeannie got saved from this horrifying ordeal. Like, this whole situation's fucked for her. Sue Ann watching the group from the window with no remorse, showing no pain. Very disturbing, and lying in bed with an already dead Ben full of his blood. Her old high school crush shows how truly traumatized and disturbed she is. The last thing I got, Dustin, I'm curious to see where they go with Ma 2, whatever they call it. Because I swore Ma was a goner, but I'm here for it. I mean, technically, Tate Taylor did say she doesn't die, so I guess I can't be upset that she survived.
I'll touch on that later. Sue Ann locking everyone in the basement and them starting to drop like flies lets us know this is going to be a wild ending. And down goes Maggie. Head on a swivel, girl. What are you doing? And Sue Ann isn't effing around. Burns Chaz with the iron, knocks the other girl out with it, sews Haley's mouth shut. This is some creative torture that we haven't seen before. And clearly, Andy had no plan. Kissing Sue Ann and dying anyway, that is pathetic. I get it, you're trying to stall, but come up with something better than that. Jeannie has the most unfortunate timing rolling over to the door. That cop's death, that's kind of on her. Like, I get it. Sue Ann did gaslight her and say that she made him do it or whatever, but if Jeannie hadn't rolled over to the door, he would have known, or he would have came inside to see what that noise was. May have survived. Jeannie going upside her mom's head with a skillet, that was awesome and hilarious, but man, Jeannie continues to make accidental errors. Now the house is on fire and you got to hustle. I was glad Maggie stabbed Ma, but just standing there, it was so annoying. Like, you stabbed her. Stick and move, girl. Go. Also, her saying, I'm not my mom, as she stabbed it. If I'm Erica, Once we get outside, I'm gonna be like, and what the hell do you mean I'm not my mom? What? Is it so bad to be me? You ashamed of me? What are you trying to say? There's something so haunting about Sue Ann just staying in the house as it burns. It's a fitting demise for such a lunatic. The sequel that I didn't know was in the works until you said it on this show tonight. Number one, why? We don't need it. Like, I get you're intrigued by it, but I took it as she died, and I get it. You're saying that he told her she doesn't die in the movie. Whatever she did,
I thought she died too. Honestly,
she's inside as the house is on fire. So if in the sequel, if she's not severely burned up, then I'm going to be pissed off immediately. It's one of those. It's been my gripe for years now. We keep grasping at straws, trying to greenlight sequels to all these existing IPs, hoping to cash in on the golden ticket and milk the cow dry. We do not need it. Point blank. It might be entertaining. We do not. It will not be better than this movie, no matter what they do.
I'll be seated.
I mean, I will too, but I'll be pissed off while I do it.
Come on, man.
Rage watch. I'll give it a chance, but I'm not. I mean, there's so many other movies that are going to get short theatrical runs, and this one will have a longer theatrical run just because it's an existing IP. Give me a break.
Did you see that Obsession is going to be on digital in like 2 weeks?
Insane.
I'm buying that joint, though. That's a good movie. But anyway, let's jump into our social media comments and questions. I'll knock out the gram first. APZ84 commented, I gave it 3 stars on Letterboxd. It's entertaining, but Ma's on her freak old lady shit. Yes, she is. And it's very uncomfortable. This is a one-watch type of movie. I think, Dustin, I don't know if you feel the same way, but you did kind of say it's not super rewatchable. It's not something you want to tune into very often.
Yeah, and some movies aren't rewatchable just because they're like a slosh to get through, but that's not this one. There's no problem with the pacing or the story for me. It's just, I don't know, maybe it's just how creepy Sue Ann is. I have noticed I'm good on this movie until about 2028, if I'm still alive.
2028. Heck yeah. That's when like Scream 19 will come out. You going to see that one?
Yeah.
I'm just rage baiting. I'm sorry. I'll stop.
Scary Movie 47.
Smile 6. All right, I'll stop.
Hell yeah, brother.
Shrek. I've never seen it.
Oh my god.
Optional 13th Ghost said. Optional 13th Ghost commented, I've never seen it. I grouped this in with films Blumhouse released when they were in the midst of pumping out a bunch of shit for a quick cash grab. I'm interested to hear your thoughts or if y'all are just going to clown on it. I told brother that I appreciate you tuning in always because he's been a fan for a long time. I always appreciate you. But I do enjoy the movie. It's not perfect, but I do like it. And the last comment we got is from Dana Tucker. I'm glad you picked it, Nico. I enjoyed the hell out of it. Always love to watch a movie I've never seen and enjoy it like I did. Thanks, guys. Of course, Dana. Appreciate you. Dustin, you got anything on it? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, we got one. I'll say, though, I mean, it does feel like a very Blumhouse movie. I mean, it's one of the better ones, but because he is right. They pumped out a lot of doo-doo. But, yeah, it does have a very Blumhouse feel. We got one on X, the artist formerly known as Twitter, from Sean the Glee Man. Shout out to Sean. He said, this movie was okay. I felt like it was missing something, but I'm just not sure of what. Started off good, though. And I replied with the gif of Sue Ann saying, are you guys mad at me for something?
Don't make me drink alone. Mike, we got anything on the old Book of Faces?
Nothing on the Book of Faces, buddy. I did post it, but nothing on the Book of Faces.
Oh, you're good, brother. Dustin, you got any fun facts you want to share?
I got a few here. Diana Silvers, who played Maggie, was named White Boy of the Month back in 2019 on Twitter. If that's not a fun fact, then I don't know what is. Also worth noting, I'm a fan of her great-grandfather, Long John. Sorry. This was based on an experience that Adam Devine from Workaholics and countless other things. It's based on an experience he had in high school. He told Theo Vaughn on this past weekend podcast that he is friends with Scotty Lands, who developed a story into a screenplay. He said his friends had met a woman who would buy them beer and make them drink a couple at her apartment while telling them to call her mom. At one point, he became so intoxicated he had to lay down, and the woman put him in a bed. He then heard the woman telling her real 13-year-old daughter to get into bed with him. Devine's friend picked him up and took him out of the apartment before anything else can happen. That's crazy. That's insane that like this is based on a real encounter, and there are people like that out there. Last one I've got, Octavia Spencer was in Never Been Kissed with David Arquette. Also, Juliette Lewis was in the Darwin Awards with David Arquette. And Missy Powell was in Just Before I Go with David Arquette. 3 for 1.
Booyah. Mike, you got the budget for us, brother?
Yeah, sorry, my freaking computer's having a dang episode. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, 1 second. Sorry. Okay. Ma was made for a cool $5 million and ended up grossing worldwide $61.2 million, which probably answers the question that I know Dustin was asking, why we're getting a fucking sequel, buddy. Well, $61 million on a $5 million budget will do it, especially for Blumhouse, buddy.
Not all the time. My Bloody
Who
Valentine.
loves money
was
more,
successful.
Jason Blum or Tony Khan?
That was 9 years ago, or that was 9 years before this one, though. So
Yeah, but I mean, look at what we're getting now. They're
Yeah.
making legacy sequels to movies that came out in the 70s. So,
well, I mean, technically that was a remake, so I guess they could do another My Bloody Valentine again. I mean, they probably will do another one again.
I don't want a remake though. I don't want a reboot. I want to see if I don't want it at all. But if we're gonna get one, just give me a sequel to that movie because
Yeah, I
it's
agree.
good enough to warrant one.
I
Just
agree.
not with Jensen Ackles. He's not a very good actor.
Nah, I'm sure he's come a long way. I'm unfamiliar with his work outside of that one show that I've never watched. But anyway,
Not a big supernatural guy.
just not a big TV show guy, I guess.
You know that Blumhouse is about to do another Happy Death Day 3.
Heck
You know
yeah.
that, right?
Yeah,
Hell
I do
yeah.
know. They should have stopped after the first one because the second one
No.
wasn't even that good.
Ugh.
I agree with you.
Oh, my God.
But shout out
I
to
can't
Jessica
wait.
Roth. She's super cool.
Yeah.
Haters on this show. Go
She was
see
in the-
Shrek after this, man.
You know the best horror movie that Jessica Roth's been in
You're going to try to rage bait me. It's not going to work. But what? I'll buy it.
is La La Land.
Oh, yeah, you ain't lying. God, welcome to Sibs.
Talking about a goddamn nightmare.
Welcome to Sibs.
All right, I quit now. You just want to quit together?
Yeah.
All right, let's jump into our favorite kill, least favorite kill, and the
I
rating.
don't think
for
anyone would
me and
listen if
Dustin
it were
crash
just
out.
me, by the way. So don't do that.
You know, I won't do that.
P.O.P.
What?
Hold it down.
Yeah, Mama, I love you.
Yeah,
Welcome, Sebs.
I'll kick us off with our kills and the rating. Favorite kill? Listen, her character sucked, and the death was meaningless because I didn't care about her character. But my favorite kill was Mercedes because people getting plowed in vehicles unexpectedly, that always pops me. Least favorite kill, it's got to be Ben because injecting him with the dog blood just to let him bleed out through his wrist, that was pointless to me. Honorable mention for worst kill was the vet because, again, like we didn't know enough about her and we didn't. It was off screen also, whatever. Rating, this is just one of those movies I like, but every time I watch it, I just have no desire to watch it again for a long, long time. Octavia Spencer is so good at portraying a deeply troubled woman, and there is a good message about being mindful of how we treat others because it can have a lot of unintentional negative consequences down the road. It does have a lot of issues, though. I give it a 6 3/4.
All right, I'll go next, Mike. Favorite kill, I'm going to agree with you. The running over Missy Powell came out of nowhere, Randy Orton. And then she just puts on Earth, Wind, and Fire September. Hell yeah, why not? It's a great song. Least favorite kill, I'm going to go with... Damn, who do I want to go with? The vet or the cop? I'm going to go with the cop, just to be different. Two gunshots, we've seen better. Like I mentioned, this movie is a guilty pleasure movie. I really enjoy it. It's one I can just put on in the background and just not really think too much, just have a good time with it. And you know, when like the fun scenes come on, you can just look up, or when the creepy scenes come on, you can just look up or whatever. I agree with you, Dustin. I already said it. We don't need a sequel to this movie, but I know me and you talked about this a lot. Like, I just like seeing characters I love seeing actors or actresses who love a character get one more crack at it. Like that, I'm not looking forward to Happy Death Day 3, but Jessica Roth wants to do it. I like Jessica Roth, so why not? I like Octavia Spencer. She loves this character, so I'm excited for it. Even if it's dog doo-doo, I'll watch it. I get a movie at 7.75.
All right. My favorite kill was Mercedes being run over because that shit was hilarious. My least favorite was Ma's boss because one, Allison Janney's awesome, but also it was an off-screen kill, so not a whole lot there for me. Look, I said it in my open that I thought this movie was much better this time around for some reason. Can't quite put my finger on why I liked it so much, but to me, this is a dark story that's kind of told in a way that I actually do think it's rewatchable. Now, I understand what you're saying. It's not enjoyable. I think that's fair because it's super creepy. And Octavia Spencer does a great job making me feel uncomfortable. But I do think from like the teen party standpoint, like how this could happen, I could see it. So one of the creepier, more realistic villains we've covered on this show that wasn't autobiographical. Like that is, I think that stands true. So I really like the movie. I think the cast is great. The music choices are great. So it's a well-made film. Enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was going to this time around. So all that being said, give the movie a 7.75. Couldn't quite go 8, but really good.
Hey, high five, 7.75.
That's right, buddy.
Well, that gives us a composite score of a 7.42. We're higher than the averages on this. IMDb's a 5.6, Letterboxd 2.5 out of 5. Rotten Tomatoes, 55% of critics gave it a favorable score.
55. Okay, I need to write that one down. Write that down, Jamie. I need one of the mid-tier ratings.
Facts.
All right, I'm going to shout out our blood donors, and Dustin, I'll let you announce what y'all are going to be reviewing next week. I'm going to be taking the week off, going to a convention, hanging out with the mom and the family. So they're going to hold it down for me. Blood donors, really appreciate y'all. Like we say it every week, you take a huge burden off of us with these financial contributions. Times are tough right now, and the fact that you choose to donate, monthly to us means a lot. Camper level reoccurring Nina, Michelle Mirza, Steve Schmidt, Anthony Andrews, Lisa, and Sean Irwin. Camp counselor reoccurring Edward Hernandez Gunn, Adrian Aiello, Brian Samick, Andrew Ferguson, Brooke Maley, Heather Superdoc, Jennifer Davis from Too Close to Home Pod, Dana Tucker, Cole McAlexander, Max K, and Amanda Pettiford. Really appreciate y'all. I mean it. Dustin, what y'all reviewing next week?
Yeah, so with shuffling some things around, like you said, you're going to be out of town, so we figured we've got a loyal listener, Eric, friend of the show, good guy. He's a huge fan of A Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. Freddy Krueger is his favorite villain, and his birthday's coming up, I believe, if it hasn't passed already. Sorry, Eric. But since we're going to be undermanned and going to move some things around so Nico doesn't miss my pick, which will be the following week, we're going to do A Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child from 1989. Not looking forward to watching it again because not really a fan of the franchise. And this is one of the
Also,
worst
the movie
ones.
Sucks.
But it should be fun. It should be fun though. It should be a fun episode.
It'll be a fun episode, and we appreciate Eric being a loyal listener. That's why we're doing it. I heard a little birdie told me we may be bringing a jersey out of the rafters. Don't know if that's true. Don't know if that's true.
Yep.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Drew's coming back,
Appreciate
baby.
y'all giving me the week off next week. That would be quite the reveal. Appreciate y'all holding it down for me next week. Eric, we love you, brother. I don't know why you're so loyal to a crappy franchise, but hey, I respect it.
Yeah, I mean, we all have our vices. You like Terrifier and have never seen Shrek, so nobody's perfect.
Whoa. Terrifier is better than the Firefly trilogy.
God. Shit and fall in it.
Even I can't get on with either one of those statements.
There's not a single one of the Terrifier movies that are as good as
Oh, that's
Three
not
from
true.
Hell. So
No,
it is true.
Terrifier 2 is better than all of them. But we'll
No.
Terrifier 2, yeah, and this half-cocked story they try to throw at us out of nowhere after giving us a whole movie of just pure gore porn. Get out of my face.
Terrifier 2 is better than
Get
Three
inside
from
your
Hell.
face.
What the fuck?
It's not. Good night, dinosaurs.
I haven't seen Shrek.
Fucking watch Shrek.
All right, y'all. I just want to say thanks for listening. If you haven't, don't forget to hit subscribe. Leave us a 5-star rating. write us a good review. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, YouTube, wherever you get your podcast at. Apple, leave us a good review. That's where we get most of our traction. We really appreciate y'all for tuning in. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, all that good stuff.
Thank you so much, everybody. I'll see you next week. And in the meantime, take care of yourself.
Just want to remind everybody,